The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 356. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is the co-founder and CMO of MyDiveo. She is also a TV host and producer for MyxTV, and I'm just really excited to have her on and share her story with us today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Roslynn Alba Cobarrubias. Roslynn, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Yeah, good morning. I'm excited to be a part of your program. I know you've interviewed some phenomenal women in the past, so it's an honor to be interviewed. First of all, my background is I started in elementary school as a DJ, recording music at lunch, and that's how my musical journey began, I like to call it. I really had a passion for music, and although the typical story, our parents want us to do something else, such as law or medicine, I chose to pursue a career in the music industry, even though I didn't sing or rap, and that meant, interning everywhere, getting experience at Radio Disney, Radio Express, etc., and starting to produce my own events and concerts under the Third Floor Radio umbrella of my college radio show and eventually production company to the point that it got the attention of the MySpace.com co-founders, and I helped launch MySpace.com as well as MySpace Music. I spent a decade there, and after being there for about 10 years as the head of artist relations and integrated marketing, I moved on to create my own company, which was called MyDiveo, standing for My Talent Discovery Video. And basically what we are is a video portfolio platform where artists, brands, influencers, etc. utilize our video profiles to then share their stories and expedite the process of networking, getting booked, getting hired, etc. And now we're the largest network of video portfolios online, and we were just acquired by Engage BDR, one of the top ad networks, for $7.4 million. And we've been here for about 6 months, and it's been exciting.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, and congrats to all the achievements. That's really awesome that you're able to create something starting from, doing something what you love, and it's great that, you can show others what's possible. So thanks for sharing that again. And Roslynn, what's your cultural background?
My mom is Filipino, from the Philippines. Of course, all Filipinos have some Spanish in them, but my great-grandfather was part Spanish from Spain. That's where the Cobarrubias comes from. But yeah, I'm definitely an island person. I'm an island girl at heart. Also, of course, American, so Filipino-American.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Martin Luther King Jr., you don't have to see the entire staircase to take the first step. I think a lot of the times we get overwhelmed and we get frustrated thinking about the path ahead, not realizing you just have to take it step by step. And I love that speech that he gave. And he added a faith piece to it, but I usually just repeat it over and over in the speeches that I do at colleges or schools is you don't have to see the entire staircase, just take the first step.
Thanks for sharing that, and that's a great quote. I mean, I'm guilty of doing that, trying to see the whole thing, not realizing all you need is just taking that first step, taking the first action, and everything will just fall into place. I know we all overthink everything to the point it's we resist from doing something that's we're meant to do. And I like that this quote is actually a great reminder of just learning to just take the first step no matter what happens. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
It changed over the years. I think when I was younger, self-confidence was kind of like fake it till you make it. When you didn't really have the experience, but you walked into a room with a sense of, if I don't necessarily know it, I could figure it out, right? I mean, that extends to now. Is it's not so much about experience, because there is experience in everybody. They have their own experience, but it's really not knowing what the future holds or how something will get done or how to overcome a challenge, but it's trusting your own abilities and your qualities and your judgment to overcome the challenge or accomplish what needs to be done in order to get the task done. It's having a faith in yourself, and it takes time to grow that. It's not something that you're some people are lucky to just be born with it, but I think it takes some trial and error and get that over the years.
Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, it does take time to trust yourself, especially I think growing up as an Asian woman, being told what to do your whole life. It is very like scary at first because you're not sure if the things you're doing are going to work or not going to work. And you have like this thing where you just don't trust yourself. But when you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, it's going to show. So, I love that definition that you have. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
You briefly touched on it, especially being Asian women or Filipino women, I think, or just women in general, where sometimes when we're put in a room, we don't lean in, as Sheryl Sandberg would said. We let others take credit for our work. We don't always feel qualified, whether it's a degree that we don't have, or it's remembering what a family member had said, or a parent or a friend that might dissuade us from thinking that we don't have the self-confidence. So, and speaking on that, there were times where, when we first started MySpace, it was the first, online social network. This was before Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. So stepping into rooms and try to convince people, especially managers and labels, why artists should have an online profile, where they felt like, their artists don't want to be that close to their fans, which is crazy to think of it now. It was very challenging to have that confidence in knowing that we had, no matter how many no's you have, if you have something of product that you believe in that will change lives, you have to just keep going for it. And for every no, you just tack it on the wall, but you'll eventually hear, different yeses. And that's, I think, how self-confidence is developed. Like we said, it's those first few steps and then more steps and more steps, and then later being able to connect the dots. So I think before I discovered my own self-confidence, it was either walking into, those music rooms, or walking into a boardroom, or just life in itself, not really knowing my own purpose, I think kept me from having a true self-confidence. Because you can have a title at your job, you can have people that work for you, but until you actually know why you're doing something, you could feel lost at times. You're always searching for answers. But, now with self-confidence, I just let the universe take its course. And I pay attention to the signs and the coincidences, and kind of let go of control. And once you realize that you really can't control the universe, but you can use your experience to guide you through the signs and the coincidence, I think that really brings out a new self-confidence that you don't even know you had with knowing your purpose.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And was there a point in your life when you realized you are, you have the ability to go out there and do what you love, and, even like create your own company? What was that aha moment?
The aha moment was when Liftoff Pictures, they were shooting different EPKs or interviews with different folks, whether it's musicians, executives, etc. And for the past 10 years before that, or even, prior to that at my radio show, Third Floor Radio, I was always interviewing other artists, whether it's Bruno Mars or Kanye West or, Justin Bieber, Drake. When they first started, I didn't really feel comfortable in doing an interview about myself. I had to do a few press runs, for Billboard or for Audrey, etc. But this was on video. So I took the chance. I said yes because they were very adamant and wanting me to do this. And once I did, we reflected back on my career from the starting point, which I mentioned was being a DJ in elementary school, to then my first jobs. And I realized that after experiencing that interview and then getting to watch it after, I could see my career as a journey rather than just one job. It wasn't a destination, it wasn't a test, it wasn't a competition or a race. And that's how I felt sometimes when it came to career. You think, when they ask you what you want to grow up, you think of one job. And I just wanted to be an MTV VJ. But doing that interview, it actually gave me a chance to see everything in hindsight and see how all the dots were connected. And it was actually a map. It was a career journey versus just one job. And so once they created that, and I was able to share that video, and people that were close to me finally understood what I did, including my mom, or just, potential clients that I wanted to work with, including our potential investors, etc. I realized the power of video. And, people or Fortune 500 companies spend $5 million for a 30-second Super Bowl commercial. And, artists spend millions of dollars on their music videos every year for their song. Why has that not translated to the everyday person or the everyday business? And then that gave me the inspiration to create mydiveo, standing for my talent discovery videos, that everybody, especially in the digital times where people are getting their news from Facebook, they're getting their restaurant recommendations for Instagram, and they're, talking to each other on Snapchat. We live in a very impatient world where the best way to get your story across, whether it's about your brand or yourself, a video is the fastest way. And whether it's a video resume or a video portfolio, either about your restaurant or yourself as an individual or as an artist, as a talent, just by the use of videos, I've seen that process expedite. We've been able to work with America's Got Talent, the White House, etc., just by using these video portfolios. So in hindsight, if I never did that interview, I would have never had that aha moment, and I would have never created the idea for our company now.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's such a great story and aha moment. I know how you feel when someone wants to interview you, because, I'm usually interviewing women as well. And when someone wants to like ask me and, to share my story, I'm still like, who's going to listen to me? Right? I mean, we always have those little things in our head, but, I still go ahead and say yes, because I never know who I can inspire or whose lives I can change or who it can reach out to. So thanks for sharing that. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
The one tip that I give to her is what I do now when I speak at colleges, or, with the Filipino channel, I spoke at Cal State Long Beach, and I transcribed it into an ebook. But it's all about, the journey. Your career path is a journey. We're all going to have different things that we experience, but if we know again that life isn't just, or your career isn't one job, it's not one destination, but it's a journny. I think it'll make everybody feel like whatever page they're on is the right page. We're never on the wrong page. And I hope to outwardly promote that to other women out there who might be looking to find their path. And I think, reflecting back on your history and seeing the different steps that you took and what worked and what didn't work will also help you guide you in the future direction.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that tip. And Roslynn, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Sure. You can visit my website. It's roslynnc.com, ROSLYNNC.com. And that's also my Instagram, ROSLYNNC. And my Twitter is ROSLYNN.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Roslynn, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Roslynn's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just really want to thank Roslynn for taking the time to share her story with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Sheena.
Not a problem. It was an honor having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free self-talk tape for building self-confidence by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.